Welcome to the Wrestling Replay. This is Kato with the Monday Night Raw Replay of the Week. Now, before we get started, I would like to let everyone know that we have a wrestling merch giveaway going on right now on our Instagram page. So if you go to the Wrestling Replay on Instagram, at the Wrestling Replay, then you can go and enter our contest. The contest will end Saturday, so make sure you get in there for your chance to win some free merch, free t-shirts and stuff like that. All right, perfect time for the holidays. Now let's go ahead and jump right into our Monday Night Raw episode. So the show kicks off with AJ Styles, The Miz, and Morrison in a funny segment, and I like it because you don't normally get to see AJ Styles in that light, especially not without the Good Brothers being here. So doing it with someone like The Miz and Morrison definitely showed AJ in a different light, and I really like that. I like the fact that The Miz was leading it because, I mean, he's been a great talker ever since he really came into the WWE, and I'm giving him a mic. So that was the perfect person to pair him up with for this segment. More importantly, right after that segment, he fought Sheamus. Now, he beat Sheamus via pinfall, but what's more important about that match was AJ showed that he can break down a big man that is very similar to Drew McIntyre in size, stature, and even aggressiveness inside of the ring. So if AJ is able to pick up not only his first pin, but his second pin on Sheamus because he beat him a week prior also, this is building AJ momentum into the TLC pay-per-view to another level. Now, remember, AJ Styles has been undefeated since joining the Raw roster. And this match almost actually got a little bit more involved. Getting Sheamus off of AJ Styles, getting the cheer for AJ Styles and allowing him to beat Sheamus while after the match, which should have resulted in disqualification, but it didn't. But nonetheless, it just kind of sets the tone. So going into TLC for Drew McIntyre, are you going to be facing AJ Styles alone? Are you going to see Omos actually, interjecting himself inside of your match and not just giving AJ Styles weapons? I'm talking about actually physically protecting AJ Styles. We don't normally see him physically get involved, but that could all change at TLC. Now, The Miz and Morrison also know that, hey, facing AJ Styles will be a lot easier to cash it in. So they think. I think they are definitely writing off Omos on the outside of the ring. There's no way he's going to allow The Miz and Morrison to just run down and cash in on AJ Styles. Not while he's, sitting at ringside. I think he's still going to play that role of protector. Okay? Now, at the very end of Monday Night Raw, I'm just going to go ahead and go through the whole AJ and Drew McIntyre segment as it leaded up to TLC. Now, these two at the end of Raw actually met each other in the middle of the ring to pretty much, set the tone for TLC. This is the going home show before Monday Night Raw, before TLC. So they're setting the tone. They meet face to face. They both say their piece. After they say their piece, you got Miz and Morrison who jumped Drew McIntyre from behind, and the beatdown began, left Drew McIntyre laying. That's how we've seen the last of Drew McIntyre before the TLC match. Now, there's no way that he's going to be coming into TLC 100%. But the real question is, are you going to be facing AJ Styles one-on-one, one-on-two, or almost, on outside the ring? Or are you going to TLC in a 1-on-4 handicap match for this title? Now, as I see it, I wouldn't be surprised if AJ Styles win this match. The way they have been building him up since he got to Raw. You know that Drew McIntyre took the title off of Randy pretty quickly, and I think that was just so that so that Drew can fight Roman Reigns at the last pay-per-view. I think that's the only reason they put the belt back on Drew. So I'm not even sure if they want Drew to be the champion right now. I think they really want a heel to be the champion on Raw. So someone like AJ Styles could definitely, hold that title for at least Royal Rumble all the way into WrestleMania season. So that's what I'm thinking on that. But let's just say Drew McIntyre did win, right? Who's next? Besides The Miz, who have the Money in the Bank, a possible Sheamus. But why would you fight Sheamus for the title when he lost to AJ Styles 2 weeks in a row? How does he jump to number one contender? That don't make sense. You got Keith Lee, who they want to send back to the Performance Center. So there's no way that he's in title contention, at least not right now. The only person that would beat is probably The Miz, and he has the money in the bank. Why would he just decide to fight you when I can cash in whenever I want? Randy Orton and The Fiend is tied up in their own feud right now, a feud that I don't see ending at TLC no matter who wins. So that's going to be very interesting what they decide to do with the world title after that. Now, speaking about Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt, and The Fiend, I guess, there was a segment where Randy Orton invited Bray Wyatt to actually play hide and seek, and Bray Wyatt, being the guy who he is of now, he couldn't resist, a nice game. So he ended up playing hide and seek with Randy Orton, and that leads him to an ambush by Orton. The Viper being the Viper, taking advantage and striking when no one thinks he's going to strike. So he throws Bray Wyatt into a box, lights the box on fire. We're all watching the box burn. Crazy, right? Kind of remind me of the Attitude Era just a little bit, but we're watching the box burn. The box fly open. It's actually The Fiend inside and not Bray Wyatt. The Fiend then actually leaves Randy Orton lane. Now that has me to believe that, hey, Randy cannot beat The Fiend. It's no way, man. The Fiend is too strong. His move has laid Orton out multiple times. It's the second week in a row that Randy Orton has, pretty much passed out to that mandible claw that The Fiend likes to use. Now, as far as Randy Orton, we seen you put Bray Wyatt down with the RKO, but we seen The Fiend pop right back up from it. What does that do? Where do we go from here? What do you have to do to actually put away The Fiend? A regular RKO and a punt kick may not work at all. Now, let's remember the momentum that The Fiend had before, facing Bill Goldberg, and they pretty much burying The Fiend and the phenom that he was set to be. He was unstoppable. And it looks like they're building him back up to be that same unstoppable force. So it's going to be interesting to see what exactly happens. There was no Alexa Bliss, of course, again on Raw this week. Maybe she'll appear at the TLC. Maybe that'll be Randy Orton's way of actually getting the win over The Fiend by somehow using Alexa Bliss. But I'm not sure about that. We'll have to pretty much wait and see. So let's talk about a few more spots in this Monday Night Raw episode this week. Now, interesting enough, we had the Hurt Business versus the New Day and Jeff Hardy. Now, Bobby Lashley ended up winning that match for the Hurt Business via the Hurt Lock on Jeff Hardy again, which is definitely leading up to something between Jeff Hardy and Bobby Lashley. But I don't think Jeff Hardy would be the one to be able to take that title off of Bobby Lashley. Now, my thing is, in that match, we've seen Cedric Alexander once again, give himself a blind tag and put himself into the match early. Not early, but put himself into the match by himself. Kind of being like, a glory hog, or try to steal like he's trying to steal a spotlight. You know what I'm saying? Bobby gave him a look like, kind of like, what are you doing? Shelton and MVP kind of let it go. But this is definitely heading towards something with Cedric Alexander and the Hurt Business, whether that be him leaving the Hurt Business or what. But I don't see, if he did leave, where would he go from here? Because his career was kind of stagnant before he actually joined the Hurt Business. The Hurt Business is actually kind of gave everyone in that faction a huge momentum boost. So they're going to have that chance at TLC to beat the New Day, and I think this will be the chance that these guys will actually go ahead and put away the New Day. And if they do lose again, I could see either Shelton Benjamin, seeing as though he has been kind of the weak link and he's been the one losing, being exiled from the Hurt Business. And I don't know if they'll ask someone new in to replace him, or if MVP will just get more in the ring and maybe him and Cedric will go after those tag team titles. But I could also see them winning. If they winning, that would kind of be the saving grace for Shelton Benjamin, seeing as though he would be the weak link. But if they lose, it would definitely enhance the story of Cedric Alexander and Benjamin being removed from the Hurt Business. So that's going to be interesting to see what happens at TLC with those two. We also had Lana going against Nia Jax. Lana was, last week, Asuka pretty much hyped Lana up to say, you got to believe in yourself. You can go out there and you can beat Lana. You can go out there and beat Nia Jax. Don't be afraid. So Lana, went out there this week. She was believed in herself, and she managed to somehow pull off the win against Nia Jax, man. She pulled off the win, but unfortunately for her, that still led to another beatdown by Shayna Baszler. She came in after the match, and her and Nia Jax pretty much took Lana out of commission. Luckily, later on, luckily for her, Asuka was able to come in and make the save before too much damage was done, but enough damage was done for her to not be able to compete in the TLC match coming up this Sunday. Now, with that said, Asuka needs to go find herself a partner to go against the tag team champions to help her win gold. So later on that night, we also had Dana Brooke going against Shayna Baszler. Dana won by disqualification when Nia Jax pretty much just interfered, just for no reason. Just took Dana Brooke out on outside the ring, and then they began to punish her and try to take her out the same way that they took Lana out. But Mandy Rose came, made the save with a kendo stick, and Asuka actually came and made her way down to help Mandy Rose as well. So now we have two women who can possibly be put in that tag team match with Asuka coming up this Sunday at TLC. We have Dana Brooke and we have Mandy Rose. Now, those two are a tag team themselves. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see something like Asuka say, you know what, you two go after the tag team titles. I'll stand out on the ringside and kind of watch and cheer you on. And maybe that is the boost that they need, because if we don't get Sonya Deville back, Asuka being on outside the ring, maybe a distraction or something like that, will actually be what Dana Brooke and Mandy Rose need to win those tag team titles off of Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler. And Shayna Baszler can get back to going after that Raw Women's title herself. And that's what I really want to see. All right. Now we had The Miz and the Morrison defeat Keith Lee, man. Keith Lee takes another pinfall loss. Like, what's going on? I understand he's going to the Performance Center. You probably want to, refine his tools, enhance his in-ring style to make it more of what Vince McMahon wants it to be. I understand, but does he have to take losses on the way out? Miz and Morrison, if they did lose, would it hurt their stock at all? Nah, it wouldn't. So maybe the idea is to, let Keith Lee lose, go on a losing streak. So when he does leave, it looks like he lost, because he also feels, I have to go and rebuild myself. So maybe when I come back, it'll be a new version of Keith Lee, a more dominant version of Keith Lee. And then he can actually be put in a position to win one of these singles titles going forward. Now, we did have some more matches going on, but I will write that in the description down below. But there's one more match I wanted to talk about, which I just don't understand, right? We had Mace of Retribution defeat Ricochet via pinfall. Now, in this match, we see Mustafa Ali order Slapjack and T-Bar to both interfere inside the match to allow Mace to get the advantage. Eventually, Mace did win out. But after the match, Mustafa Ali pretty much told Ricochet, we will not stop going after you until you join Retribution. If Ricochet joined Retribution, are we looking at another situation where, a superstar joins a faction just to destroy them from the inside out? Kind of like Randy Orton did with the Wyatt family, because we don't want to see that. We already seen that play. Why would Mustafa Ali want someone in his faction so bad who doesn't want to be there? And how much are we going to watch this? Why don't they just go ahead and get to the match where, hey, if you lose, you have to join Retribution. You have to fall in line. You have to listen and do what we say. He's never going to join on his own. He should never join on his own. And it kind of just hurts his stock if he did join Retribution. Because, honestly, do you think these guys would win the World Tag Team Championship? I don't see Mustafa Ali, and Ricochet winning those championships. I more so like to see T-Bar and maybe Mace, but Mace is going to the Performance Center. So T-Bar, maybe Ricochet or someone. I could see that as a pretty decent tag team, because we know the type of skill set that T-Bar has. So I'm kind of getting over with this Retribution storyline. I wish they just did something better, not different, but just something better. Because right now, you know, like 1 week these guys are up, 1 week it takes the whole group just to defeat one guy. So it's kind of like you're in limbo with this faction because you don't really know where it's going to go. So we'll have to pretty much monitor that going forward. But this is one of those storylines where, I'm just waiting for it to hurry up and get to the end, and I can't, wait till it get there so I can just move on with it and see what's going on next with these superstars. All right. But nonetheless, that was your Raw replay of the week. You know how I do. The full breakdown will be in the description down below. And remember, guys, go to the Instagram page at The Wrestling Replay. Enter the contest to get free merch. Once we reach 100 subscribers here on the YouTube channel, we'll also be doing a monthly giveaway. And that could be anything from t-shirts, action figures, replica titles. It could be anything we want to do that month, but it's going to always be a good prize. So let's try to subscribe, like, turn on your notifications so we can get as many subscriptions as we can, so we can hurry up and start that giveaway as quick as possible. All right. So that about does it for me. Kato signing out. But before I do, let me know what you guys think about this episode of Monday Night Raw, and let me know what you guys think about the TLC pay-per-view. Do you see AJ Styles walking away with that world title? That's what we really want to know. And do you see The Miz cashing in on either one of these guys? Because this is a perfect opportunity with it being the TLC, and your champion should be, pretty beaten and broken down after a TLC match. So this is the perfect opportunity for The Miz. Let me know what you guys think. All right. I'm Kato, signing out. Peace.